Hey, it's Sam here from Train of Thought. Today we're going to be talking about how to survive working from home, remote working. Now, before we do anything, just make sure to hit that subscribe button in the corner so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Working from home divides opinion. Some people love it, some people can't stand it at all. But this is being filmed during the isolation period of 2020, so obviously many of us are being forced to work from home. And actually working from home is becoming more common anyway. Now, when we work from home, the dynamics of our job and our day are really different from in the office. We lose that sense of camaraderie. We lose that constant interaction with other people. We lose the ability to communicate face to face without using software. Our days are often filled with things. You know, we have meetings, we bump into people. There's all sorts of things that kind of fill the day. If you travel a lot for work, then obviously that's kind of been taken away as well. You're suddenly stuck in one place for long periods of time. And it can be challenging. Working from home is a big change, particularly if you've never really done it before. Now, I've worked from home for a couple of years and I love working from home, but there are some really important things that I've learnt to ensure that I stay motivated, engaged, excited for my work without everything kind of spilling over. Because working from home can be really stressful. Over half of people who work from home actually exhibit higher stress levels than their colleagues in the office. And we can all understand why that happens. And in this video just above here, we'll talk about the key to working from home and the big reason that can go wrong. But rather than just focusing on some tips for productivity, which you can find here, this is going to be about your survival, your emotional well-being when you're working from home. So let's get cracking. Number one, accept that you're going to have some negative feelings, particularly guilt. I would say this is the most important one. Without our constant feedback and that busyness from the office, often we can really struggle emotionally to feel like we're doing our job properly. A lot of the normal staples of our job are removed and we're distant from everyone. And it's hard to always feel like you're doing a good job, that you're contributing in the way you want to contribute. So the first thing, accept those negative emotions are going to happen, and accept there's going to be quite a lot of guilt, because it often is when we work from home. People who work from home often work longer hours than those in the workplace because they feel so afraid that people aren't going to think they're working hard, that they actually work longer hours to make up for it. They'll send a couple of longer emails late at night to kind of prove to people they've been working. We all feel that way when we work from home. It's a natural part of being out of the office. So just accept that's how you're going to feel. You don't need to do anything with it. You don't need to change your working practices. You can trust in yourself and your skills and not get so caught up in that internal dialogue of, am I doing a good job? Am I contributing well? Accept you're going to get some guilt, some negative emotions. We don't have to do anything with them. We don't have to respond to them. They're just part and parcel. But let's definitely talk about them, because it's something we're all going to share. So that's tip one, accept the guilt and the negative emotions that can come with working from home. Tip number two, have an office. Now, if you have an office, use your office. If you don't have an office, if you share a flat or you don't have the rooms, have an area where work is contained. As much as possible, try and work from that area. It will prevent work from spilling out into the rest of your home. Initially, it looks really great that we can lie in bed or sit on the sofa working all hours of the day. And for some people and some projects, that can be a really nice thing. But in general, I found the more I contain work into one corner of my flat, the happier I am, because the rest of my flat doesn't become worky. What we're trying to do is contain work from infecting every area of our lives. That's when work and home interact so much that we actually become confused and quite nervous. Is this my home? Can I socialize here? Or is this my workspace? As much as possible, try and contain work. There may be several areas of the house that work for you, but just try and contain that to what you term your office, that place where you work. Which takes us on to tip number three. Have a schedule for your work. Keep to a schedule. Have a start time, have an end time, have a lunch time, have some break times. Make sure that it's not just spilling out. Now, this may be really different, and I accept this if you have childcare in the home. If you're looking after your kids, your pattern may be really disrupted. And that makes complete sense, in which case have an idea of, as much as possible, the areas you can control. If you need to work a little later when the kids have gone to bed, have clearly defined boundaries to that. Don't let it spill over all the way into the evening. If there's some early morning work that could really work for you, when is that? Try and have as much control over your schedule as possible. Understanding there'll be loads of things that get in the way, but the more boundaries we have, the easier, again, it'll be to tell between work and home. The reason that's so important is those worky thoughts, those stresses will continue to rumble on in our home life unless we have limits, start and end times. And it's really good to have a ritual. Cal Newport talks about a ritual to end the day, where actually you close your laptop and you say, work's done today. Have a ritual where you can end that work day, so there's a clear definition between the two. Which takes us on to tip number 4. Take breaks. It's really easy to just keep working. I was speaking to someone the other day and they were talking about just Zoom meetings, one by one after the other. And it used to be in the office, at least you could walk between meeting rooms, but now it's one after the other. Breaks are absolutely essential. We need to revitalize, we need to refresh, we need some downtime. Schedule in breaks. If anything, schedule in more than the office. Because you're trapped at home, there's not as much walking, there's no commuting, anything like that. We're going to have more time just stuck at our desks. So you're going to need to put those in artificially. Do it with confidence and know it's the right thing for you to do. It's really important that we have those breaks in our schedule so that we have a clear rest time where we can get back to our best. It takes us on to tip number 5. Exercise and eat well. There were periods where I worked from home where I didn't exercise enough, and you start to really feel it. Again, a lot of those moments where you're actually using your body when you're commuting, when you're out at work, are kind of gone. You have to force them in. Exercise absolutely keeps me sane when I'm working from home. And during this isolation period, I don't know about anyone else, but it has absolutely kept my brain alive. Going for runs, doing online workouts in the house, doing yoga, all those kind of things have absolutely kept me going. And that also applies to eating. Make sure to eat well. It's really easy at home to just snack on rubbish foods. But again, it's really important to keep yourself nourished and eat a lot of nutritional foods to make sure you're looking after your body, particularly in isolation period. It's really easy to forget or deprioritize it. Now more than ever, it's really important. But whenever you work from home, you are up and about less naturally. So it's important to make sure that you schedule in those breaks. So you're keeping your body moving and keeping those positive endorphins coursing around your body. So on to tip number 6, feel confident that there are things you can say no to. It's really hard to say no even when we're in the office, particularly when we're worried that people aren't necessarily sure we're working or think we might be slacking off. You can still say no to things, and this applies to home life as well. If your family's scheduled in a load of catch-ups and you can't quite keep up with them, make sure to schedule some time for you. We need to look after ourselves and make sure we're limiting how much we're committing to. This is true at any time of working from home. It's really easy to say yes because you feel guilty that you're at home. But during this isolation phase as well, it's really easy to say yes because we feel we need to do a load of stuff. It's quite an emotional time. We only have so much bandwidth in our heads, and quite a lot of that bandwidth is being taken up by worry. Again, working from home normally, it's the case, let alone at the moment. So it's really important that you find these gaps for yourself and make sure that you're keeping in control of what you can control and saying yes to what's most important. And that takes us on to tip number 7. Enjoy the good bits. Enjoy the bits that are worthwhile. You get to be at home. You get to take a lunch break and maybe, I don't know, read a book, watch some TV, listen to some music. You're surrounded by all your things. You're with your friends, your family. Enjoy the good bits. This isn't just about punishing ourselves. We're in a scenario where we can make the most of it. Think about, you don't have to commute. You don't necessarily have to deal with all those meetings, all that busyness, all the frantic bits of the office. You can take 15 minutes. No one's watching you. You can just read a book or just have some you time. Make the most of it. It will keep us going during these periods. It can't all be self-flagellation just because we're working from home or working remotely. This is all about keeping trust going. This is all about ensuring that we have healthy relationships together. And it's okay that we enjoy the positives, just as we enjoy the positives about being in the office. This isn't about punishing ourselves. It's about keeping ourselves happy and healthy during a really uncertain time. But it's true for working home in general. Just enjoy the good bits. They're brilliant, they're amazing, and you don't know how much you'll get to do them in the future, so make the most of it. Now, I hope that was helpful. All of these tips have helped me to survive working from home and actually thrive working from home. I love working from home. We all can too. Make sure to check out the top tips as well and the key to remote working. They're really important as well. Let me know any of your thoughts about surviving working from home, your experiences, what you've loved, what you've found difficult. Please hit that subscribe button and that like button if you liked it. And until we meet again, take care.